My granddad had terminal cancer. He had, liver and bladder and lymph node. And I cared for him for 5 years. Since I was about 10-year-old, I cared for him till I was 15. Yeah, me, my dad and my mum, we all cared for him. And passed away in my arms. First like 2 years of boxing, I hated boxing. Never wanted to do it. Yeah, and then after that, it was just, out of nowhere, I just had this click. And then, my granddad used to bring me to the gym as well with my dad. Every time I'm in that last round, I just think about how much he was in pain. And I think if he was here right now, what would he be saying to me? My granddad didn't box, but he loved to fight when he was younger, and got my dad into boxing.
Push up your front leg.
Yeah, from my first day of boxing, he used to come to the gym and he wouldn't miss a session. First session he ever missed was when he got diagnosed. And then as COVID came on, because obviously he was the risk of getting ill, we had to miss a few sessions and that lot. But before he passed away, we got him in one last time. But he's definitely one of my main pushes and focuses in the sport. I started boxing when I was 8 years old. I was a bit overweight and I started getting picked on in school. So I thought I'd bring it up to my dad and started talking about it, and we started going on the bag in the back garden. We've done it in the back garden for a few months, and then he thought about taking me to the gym that he boxed at, Patrick Wilson, also used to be known as Norfolk, and then we went from there. Now I'm still boxing there now, 10 years down the line. I'm more of a boxer puncher, but when I started it was more of a dogfight pub brawl, but it's become, me and my dad over the last few years we've reeled it in as we've started boxing the championships and that lot. We've definitely had to reel me back in, but I still got that dog in me. But we've realised as I'm upping in the levels, I gotta start boxing now. But I still love a tear up. Obviously the main goal, I definitely want to turn pro, but I don't want to turn pro too early. Definitely want to make sure it's the right time, right age, right time. But if I could take the amateurs, hopefully the full way, even if I just box for England even a few times. But I definitely would love to represent the country, just get to that top level. Last time I lost in the London final, and then in the NABCs I got to national quarters, boxed a good lad from Brighton. But I lost on a 3-2 split there. That was a good close fight. He got to the national final after as well. I got to the London final. That was my first London final. But I had a chest infection when I was boxing. But I said to my dad, no matter what, I'm making sure if I got the London final, I'm not pulling out. What it was I think I put a lot of pressure on myself, because it was just after my granddad passed away as well. So after that, I was doing everything for him, and I had a pair of shorts made for him. Everything was in his name, and I think I just put too much pressure on myself. Like, I've got to do it, I've got to do it, I've got to do it. Then after I boxed in the NABGCs, me and my dad, we just totally took the pressure off, and we said, like, we don't want to mess it up again. This is the second chance. Like, it's a bigger, harder championship, but we just thought, like, we'll give it a go. And with the Londons, we won it, and we came up short in the national quarters, but the Londons, we done it, and that was probably one of my proudest moments there. I get too emotionally invested, way too emotionally invested. That's one thing over the last few years I've definitely had to pull back a lot. I said to my dad, I think it's where I put so much into it, because I don't go out, I've never drunk, never smoked, I've never done anything like that. My enjoyment's in the gym. So I think when I do get to that point, I put all the pressure on myself that I've got to do it. Like, once I feel like I'm behind, I just go. So that's the thing that we've had to learn to pull back on, just stick to the game plan. We've just got to box. It's a blessing and a curse, I think. Sometimes it can be that bit too much, but then sometimes it's that thing that other boys ain't got that, and it pulls me through. Like, I've always known that third round I've got that, I know what I've got pushing behind me. In the semi-finals, it was the furthest I ever got in the nationals, so it was definitely like a different feeling to before. Never been there before, and obviously I knew if I win this, I'm in the final. I got that chance at gold, and but me and my dad was thinking about, we didn't want to put too much pressure on ourselves that we have to win it. It literally came out on first bell went. I knew I had a tall lad. Thought I was gonna have to be on the front foot, and then I think he threw a jab, or obviously his first shot. He threw a jab. First 10 seconds, I think I moved, and his thumb just caught me right in my eye. I got split, and I was seeing double straight away. And I had to try and shake it off, but I was just seeing two of them. I had to just punch at the one that was clearer. But I was very lucky to make it through the bout. I won it on unanimous, but very lucky to make it and to be able to still go to the national final after. But yeah, it was, I just had to make sure my eye was covered for that fight. Yeah, I was definitely worrying, thinking I was going to get, I definitely didn't want to think like, I've got this far, I'm going to get stopped over a stupid injury. Like I never thought this was how it was going to happen. I pulled through it, but yeah, it was definitely a worry. I was worrying a lot, but I didn't want to end up rushing too much and end up opening it up anymore. But yeah, I had to definitely box smart after I came back after the first round. I had to definitely box smart after that. A lot of people didn't think I was going to be turning up for the final the day after, but yeah, once I got back to the hotel, my eye was bloody like that. But luckily, literally luckily, obviously we had to box 2 days in a row. My dad brought a food pack and he had the ice packs in there. And yeah, when we was in the hotel, we made the lady put them in the freezer. And yeah, I was just pushing it for all night, literally all night. I woke up on the way to the final as well, was still doing the same. And yeah, it opened up, so it was still closed a little bit, but yeah, when I came into the final, I could still see.
Youth class under 71 kilograms, by way of a unanimous points decision, your winner and finalist in the blue corner, Charlie O'Neill.
It was 2 cuts, one above and then one under, and then it was obviously swelling of the eye, and my eyebrow was a bit swollen as well. And yeah, I definitely didn't think I thought I'd be out of the ring for a while. Main game plan after the weigh and after the doctor cleared me, main plan was just make sure covering the eye all times. I do think the eye, I was worrying about it a lot. I think in the fight, I didn't want it to open, end up like getting all the way to the final and getting stopped. I think I ended up worrying about it too much. And I just think I needed to make sure like I wasn't over worrying about it. But in the end, I do think it played a lot into like the role of like that's maybe why I lost. Like in a way, I do think I was forgetting my jab and I was just covering it and I was just thinking my eye. And before the fight, the ref did say to me, he said, "Oh, I might have to stop you today." And I think again, I do think that made me a bit weary about it. In the final, I was definitely had to make sure my lead down. Usually I have my lead down out, but I had to make sure I had to draw it in. I had it that bit over. I was making sure I couldn't be like that all the time. I had to make sure I was either here, or if I am here, I've got to be keeping long. So if I am here, when I'm there, I've got to make sure my head's moving behind. Like I can't be sitting there standing still. After the ref saying, "Oh, I might stop you," it made me fight with an emotion in a way. Like I had to kind of make sure I'm not getting stopped, and I focus more on not getting stopped and focus on my eye than more boxing. Like it was that boy, I definitely could have beat that boy. I think the last round was it was even, but I definitely think the first 2, I think I took them clear. I think personally, but I don't know if that's delusion or you have to have confidence in yourself. I definitely knew the bout was close, but once I heard unanimous, I thought that's got to be going my way. But yeah, once they said it went the other way, it was one of the worst feelings. It was definitely a shock to my core. Like it was one of the worst gut feelings I've ever had. Like because I think where I knew, I thought in my head how sure I was that I won it, and then to hear like it was one of my biggest dreams, to then just out of nowhere it's gone. But yeah, after the fight, that when I was handed that silver, I didn't want it. I definitely for that in the next few days I didn't wear it. Yeah, I've definitely learnt to live with it now. I don't think I'll ever get over it. But yeah, I've definitely learnt to live with it. Me and my dad definitely spoke about after that. I think I need to take a lot more of the emotion out of it, because I do think, again, in the national final, I did put a lot of pressure on myself to like, this is the moment that I've been training for. Like I've put all my effort in for this. Like I definitely think like from now on we need to take the emotion out of it. Like just look at it as it's fun. Like where if I get the national title, then I get it. If I don't, then I don't. Like just the thing, it's just fun. It's experience. That's all it is. In college, I do a plumbing course. I also go to there's a thing called the England Boxing Dice Academy. I do that at Limehouse Boxing Club. I do that on the Mondays. But yeah, every other day in the week I go to Uxbridge College and I do my plumbing there. So yeah, that's my plan B. But always the main focus is the boxing. But I've always said to my dad, I need that backup, especially with the come forward style as well. Splits, injuries do happen, so you never know. And that's the thing. Maybe one day it won't even be a split. You never know what might happen. Definitely want to belt this season and hopefully get a national title this season. That's definitely what I'm going to be looking for. But definitely want to be active as well. A lot of people are going to see me on the scene. I'm doing everything this year, making sure before I turn senior I'm doing everything.